Hello, welcome to our weekly wrap up.
2 weeks.
2 weeks worth. Yes, we were gone. We were at the beach. Sad life.
It was glorious.
Okay, so we have quite a bit of questions, but they're pretty quick.
Yeah, and they're good ones.
Yeah. All right, are you ready? Do you want me to read the question?
Okay. I should have slurped. People love it when you slurp on the coffees and recordings. It's great.
It's disgusting. Okay, Juanita had a question. Long-term sustainability of eating this way, aka protein forward, reducing, not limiting, but removing carbohydrates. Sustainability of eating this way. Why is it so different from how we've been taught our entire lives?
I'm going to let you start with that one because women have a different level of conditioning than dudes.
Well, go ahead. You get started.
Why?
So long-term sustainability of eating this way. Why is it so different from what we've been taught our whole lives?
The simplest answer is brainwashing and conditioning started on everybody in the early 1900s with snacks, and that's when snacking and there's another snacking question here too. But this specifically got really bad in the 1970s where they started pushing grains on people. There's really awesome in the 1940s, I think, 40s or 50s. The American population was not ready for war, so they started telling people to eat tons of meat and dairy and eggs because people were actually smaller and weaker, and they needed to put on muscle and stop being so small. So again, the 70s, the government got involved in farm subsidies. There's a whole big rabbit hole we could go down, but low fat was the next craze after fat-free, low fat, and then it's turned into calorie counting and all the crazy diet cult. So human beings, we are meant to eat, 1 to 3 meals a day, meat. And when I say meat, eggs, fish, pork, cow, really any kind of meat, dairy, fruits and vegetables. We are not really meant to eat many grains. There are some out there that might be okay for people. And we're meant to eat food, and then we burn it off. We eat food, we burn it off. That's the long and the short of it.
Our bodies are designed to eat larger portions and then not eat for a long period of time.
Correct.
So this actually leads into, hold on. Before we lead into the snack question, long-term sustainability. So my answer is, if you can picture yourself doing this in 5 years, then you should be doing this now. Would you agree?
Yeah, but where I get into this, and this is all the feelings that go into this. A lot of people have feelings around food, and some of this might be a little spicy from me today. It's bullshit. It's food and it's fuel. So, if you feel like you should have this stuff, that's probably the wrong starting point. And it's like food is supposed to. What is it? What's the quote from Plato, Aristotle, let thy medicine be thy food, or what is it?
I don't know. That sounds
We'll come back to that. There's an ancient Greek philosopher that has a whole thing. Basically, food is your medicine. Like, if you're eating good, healthy food and taking care of your body, like, you're not going to see the doctor very much, right? This is what food is supposed to be. And there shouldn't be a lot of feeling and emotion about it. Unfortunately, we've all been taught to, it needs to feel good and this and that. No, food should taste good. And meat tastes good, vegetables prepared correctly taste good, fruit tastes good, dairy tastes good. So,
well, if it tastes good, then it probably feels good.
Yeah. So when but again, it's like really, just like snacking. Like, a lot of people have an emotional connection to snacking.
I see what you're saying.
And or sitting, right? Almost everybody. It's not Netflix and chill. It's Netflix and snack.
You know what Netflix and chill?
Yeah, I'm an adult. I'm good. But it's Netflix and snack is what everybody, they sit down on the couch at night and they want to snack. If you don't know what Netflix and chill means, Google it. We'll keep this PG-13.
That's the Netflix and chill. We can keep it kinder.
So, sitting, one of the people working with, I'm not going to call her out, but we found that if she sat in her kitchen where it was quiet, her brain said snack. She goes upstairs, away from the kitchen, a little bit further, she didn't snack. And those are emotions. Those are more feelings. Make the food more logical. Like, does it make you feel good? Like, if you eat a meal, you have great energy and you feel good. Let's go off that.
Yeah.
And really stop removing a lot of the brainwashing, the conditioning, the emotional connection. Like really, there is an emotional connection to food. Sometimes it's because it's addictive. Like processed foods and sugar are addictive. Like there's a lady out there that's pioneering new science and therapy off of food addiction. Like it is a real thing.
Yeah.
So eat good food. Meat, fruits, vegetables, dairy.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And I think also too understanding the why we push protein, why we push 1 to 3 meals versus 6 small meals. That having that like knowledge helps us remove the emotion, insert logic, right? So then when we are feeling like I just want a snacky for my pet.
And here's the other thing, because we snacking is in here.
You get what I'm saying though?
Sure. We all have Arnold Schwarzenegger and that era of bodybuilding, and Joe Weider, who helped them. They were the people pushing 4, 5, 6 meals a day.
Because they needed to grow.
Correct.
Very big.
This is the thing I always tell, and specifically, more women. If you don't want to be bigger, you don't need to eat multiple times per day.
Yes.
There's no science of eating smaller meals more often that speeds your metabolism. That's bullshit.
Yes.
Eat a meal.
Now, there are calorie coaches.
So unless you want to be a bodybuilder and unless you want to get bigger, you don't need to eat meals and snacks or multiple meals. I was going to say, there are calorie counting coaches out there or macro counting coaches
that will say, it doesn't matter if you eat 10 times a day or twice a day as long as your calories are the same. That's not true. It is not true. So.
I start getting itchy and twitchy when you mention these other people.
Now let's talk real quick about if somebody has weight loss surgery. The number one way that they gain their weight back is by
grazing,
which is also
snacking, eating multiple times per day.
Okay.
So we're not
snacking.
We're not cows. We're not ruminids. We're not meant to graze all day. So
we are not cows.
If you're tempted, again, the emotional standpoint, if there's little nuts or candies, like just put this shit away, get rid of it. Like during the Halloween part, like some people are like, how do I stop eating Halloween candy? Throw it away. Nobody should be eating it, right?
Well, you really like to out-logic the emotional.
I can't help it, it's how I'm wired.
It's okay, it's good. It's why we love you.
Okay. But also too, and I mentioned women. Women have also been way more conditioned and to eat. I mean, when you and I first got together, if you eat like a guy, you'll look like a guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're all supposed to eat meals in a size that makes us feel good. Now, if you're eating healthy foods and there's no processed crap on your plate, if you're eating a plate full of meat, vegetables, fruits, that kind of stuff, just eat till you're full. Prioritize protein, make it half your plate.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's really hard, and especially the older we are. Like I always laugh about the boomers. Like the boomers, like the conditioning of everything that went on. So.
Well, continue because we coach boomers.
I mean, everything you've been taught, like from doing cardio and eating salads and eating small meals often, it is all complete and utter bullshit. Like, it just is.
Yeah.
Sugar, processed foods, all the grains, like those are things that are not good for you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
We're on this topic for a long time.
So that is why we don't promote snacks. Our bodies are not designed to eat multiple times a day.
If you have Paul, for instance, like he works really long days, I'm like, Sometimes you might need a fourth meal.
Oh, for sure.
Take all your snack
Take
food.
your little snackies.
Who just did this? Somebody did it lately. Janine took all her snack food one day and made a meal out of it.
There you go. It works. Okay. Elle finds herself setting lofty goals, but then they fizzle out. So how do you set worthwhile but realistic goals?
Set smaller goals.
Okay.
So smart.
Okay, I just have to say this. Okay, this is something that I am trying really hard to teach our daughters, and I think it needs to be said for adults as well. Do the boring stuff. The boring stuff matters. The boring stuff adds up. I know it's not hot to sleep 7 to 9 hours. I know it's not hot to drink your water. I know it's not sexy to eat, protein forward. Well, actually, I do think it is sexy. But, okay. My point is that the boring stuff matters.
Yeah. Those are the foundational things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So once you nail the boring stuff.
If we can't, walk 10,000 steps per day, eat 2 to 3 meals per day with, prioritizing protein, drink half your body weight in ounces of water, get 7 to 9 hours sleep and going to bed at a pretty reasonable time.
Yep.
There should be what else did I miss on there? Getting outside more often.
Yeah.
There should be no other goal setting outside of those 4 or 5 things until those things are nailed.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But like the SMART goals, right? What is it? Specific, measurable, attainable,
realistic,
time bound. Just instead of specific, just put small.
Yeah.
Make it small, attainable goals, something that you can track.
And even so, like having that big goal is great, but then the secret is to fold it up, throw it away, and only focus on the steps to get there. That if you stop obsessing about the outcome and you only focus on the process, you will get there much faster.
Yeah. So take your big goal.
Than spinning your wheels.
And if it's, I don't know what Mel made it about, things with us or outside of life, but take your big goal, reverse engineer it to the things that you need to do every single day to hit that big goal. And then, like you said, fold that big goal up and put it away and only focus on that process.
Yes, absolutely. Becoming obsessed with the process is one of the best ways to actually reach your goals.
Which this is great too, because there's been a lot of people that are like, oh, I got on the scale for whatever reason. And then the scale's such a bad measurement, but it's like, you don't need to worry about the scale. You need to worry about these 5 things that we expect you guys to do every single day.
Yep. Yep. And I think the scale thing is funny too, because sometimes it's that validation of I'm on the right track or I'm not on the right track. And if the scale does not reflect that I'm on the right track, then I need to switch things up.
Yeah.
I need to change things. I need to cut back and blah, blah, blah.
Even though you clothes are fitting you better, you feel good, all the things.
That little number holds a lot of power. Okay.
Well, so we talked enough about snacking for Kim.
Yeah. And then we went to Mel. Okay.
But we also, brown fat. So the only thing that I know of that there's really good research on how to increase brown fat. So brown fat is metabolically active fat. It's typically most concentrated on like our backs. You're born with it. How to increase it is cold exposure. So cryotherapy, cold water therapy, you can actually make more brown fat. And if you have more brown fat, you typically have less white fat. And white fat is, the not so good.
Fatty fat.
The love handles or
belly fat.
The things that jiggle and shake we don't want.
So taking a cold shower is a fantastic way. Now,
Ice
it doesn't
bath.
mean, it doesn't need to be freezing cold. It just needs to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, if you
30 seconds to 3 minutes.
Anything typically under 70 degrees. So if you get in there and it gives you a quick little shiver, like that, it's doing its job.
For sure.
So.
Yep. Okay.
But the colder the water, the shorter the exposure.
Okay.
So like a lot of studies have been done at like 65 to 68 degrees, but for like longer period, like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
But also doing something every single day, even if it's just a minute, It all adds up.
There's great studies. People that just finish their shower with like 30 seconds to 1 minute, like they don't get sick as often.
Yes, it boosts
they don't
your
miss.
immune system.
It was a corporate wellness company. So they looked at all these big companies, and these people reported being sick less. They didn't call into work.
Yep.
They felt
Their
more
moods were
energetic, better mood. So
Yep.
finish your shower. 30 seconds to a minute. Cold water.
Boom. Love it. So easy. So easy.
And if it is easy for you, then make it colder or longer.
My point, well, maybe it's not easy.
Some people are fine with cold water.
Mentally easy, and that's good because we need to struggle and overcome. But it's easy in that anyone can do it.
Yep, and it's free.
And it's free. Okay, love it. Caitlin, what are your thoughts on adaptogens for stress and inflammation reduction?
We're not big supplement people unless it's like your zinc, magnesium, vitamin D, couple the basics.
Sure. Or if you have a very specific
We've
situation.
played around with adaptogens and stuff. I notice no difference on them. I think you've maybe like hormonally you felt a little bit different. You find your ginger tea probably works better.
My ginger tea works for the best thing.
So yeah, here's the thing. I look at our nephew was getting migraines, and I was trying to explain to him, you're getting migraines out of nowhere. There's an underlying cause and a problem with this, and we'll just say inflammation and stress. If you have inflammation and stress, and your inflammation is probably coming from your stress, you need to address the underlying cause. Taking adaptogens for it, yes, they can be helpful, but it's just a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
So figure out, and Caitlin talked to Jess, like what's the underlying root cause? Let's attack that first. Let's try that first, rather than
always trying to find a supplement.
Putting a Band-Aid on it.
Yeah, totally.
But if you do want to try it, ashwagandha seems to be the most widely used, potent for all kinds of different things. It's a good adaptogen. So, but we don't. Our supplement company we promote, they don't even carry an ashwagandha.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. So in Amazon, ashwagandha.
Amazon, look for some good reviews. Yeah. And inflammation, what's causing the inflammation is from somewhere else. Inflammation is not a good marker of health. It could be stress, it could be lack of sleep, or something you're putting into your body, or environmental exposure to things. So figuring out those root causes is where the time and energy needs to be spent.
You're not a Band-Aid kind of person.
No. How do you build a house? You start with like the pretty?
I would.
The trim? No. You pour a concrete slab.
The
boring.
The boring.
The boring.
Yes.
You think about really a house. The guys
with
who
that.
build the concrete slab, and then the guys who frame, they're there and they're gone. Nobody thinks about them. Nobody knows them, right? That's not sexy.
Right.
It's the people the painters, and they do the trim work and do the shower, the tile, right? The landscape. So yeah, the boring shit's important.
Yeah, otherwise it will all fall down. Oh, guys, I really feel like this is why I love you. Oh, feeling a little emotional.
My logical.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you.
My logic is always shitting on your
my peonies.
The pretty.
I want my roses. Okay. Jenny, you asked a really good question about posture. We're going to address that separately.
Individually.
Yeah, because that's great. And then we want to make sure we have full body situation. Okay, moving forward.
Let's talk about Corey. Talk about her question, what you said, and then I'll give my 2 cents.
Yes, okie dokie. So
Corey, we love answering your questions, by the way.
We love your questions. Okay. So Corey was curious. She has some food sensitivities, specifically egg, avocado, apple peel. And her question, she's really pared down her diet. It's very, very simple because of the current season of life she's in. Also, she has found foods that make her feel amazing. So, but her question was, am I doing myself a disservice by restricting so much rather than kind of forcing myself to eat avocado, egg, apple, etc.? Did I explain that well?
Yeah.
Okay. So my answer was, No, you're not doing yourself a disservice. You know what foods trigger a response, inflammation, or,
Brain fog.
Or you just feel gross. It's fine to remove them. It's also fine to reintroduce them every now and then if you do introduce them one at a time, right? And see how you feel.
Sure.
And then, okay, so go ahead.
Just for context, so carnivore diet, meat, dairy, eggs, pretty much that rounds it out. Some people will do meat only. Some people will do one very specific cut of meat only because they have health problems. So there's a guy out there, he went carnivore, I think, for 90 days, and he was super strict. It was meat and eggs only. And he did a poop test. So he did it before and after. And what they do is they measure the biodiversity in your stool. Like how many strains of bacteria were found.
Right.
So this guy, and this is where, basically when it comes to the gut microbiome, anybody it's like metabolism, when they say they got all figured out, they're full of shit. They really don't. There are strains of bacteria that scientists haven't even figured or identified yet. So because we have literally trillions of bacteria in us. So anybody that says like they got it all figured out, gut microbiome, they don't. His biodiversity of his gut doubled by doing a carnivore diet.
Yeah.
But again, everybody's very different.
But that was also Corey's other question was, she's heard from, gut experts that,
experts.
Having a variety of food increases the variety of your gut microbiome. True or false? And I said, well, actually, it's not true because...
Well, the answer, it can be, but it's very individual. And right. Corey's specifically talking about...
But there's no, box, right? It's
no.
not like, if I eat 50 different types of food, I will have a huge, diverse gut microbiome. No, that's not necessarily true. No,
because the context, the warning for that should be, we are all so genetically diverse, right? Your ancestry. I am 8% Neanderthal.
Yeah.
8% of my DNA is Neanderthal. So on both sides, I'm like 90% more Neanderthal than the rest of the population. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Neanderthals had stomachs that were as acidic or more acidic than big cats. I tolerate meat very, very well. Other people don't. People who come from your ancestry. Our carbohydrate tolerances are like my recommended carbohydrate tolerances is like less than 20%. You can eat up to like 40 or 45. So we are all so diverse, we're all so different. And where Corey was getting at is like these foods that don't agree with her. We've identified them, she's eliminated them. Now, Corey, I'll specifically talk about, you said you've done such a good job for so long, super clean, you eliminate alcohol. You went and had, was it pizza?
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't bother your gut as it would have before. So you can try adding an apple back in, adding an egg back in, and see how you feel. Because our guts heal and change over time.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole thing with this, and again, all these gut health experts that use big words and they mention the strains of bacteria, if you want good gut health, stop eating the shit that ruins your gut.
Randy, what is the shit?
Alcohol, number one. Worst thing you can do for your gut. Most grains, not good for your gut. NSAIDs, so Advil, not good for your gut. Sugar, not good for your gut. So there's all of these things that are just not processed foods in general. And then the one that, is now big tech is doing putting you down the algorithm, seed oils. Again, and all of these things lead to inflammation in your gut. And an inflamed gut is a gut that your body will flare up and respond to way more things. So you get rid of all these things. And some people too, it's dairy. If you don't tolerate dairy, there are people out there who don't tolerate dairy very well. Dairy cannot be good for your gut.
Yeah.
So removing these things. So when you want good gut health, you have to remove the things that are causing the problems and the inflammation in your gut. If you're gassy all the time, if you have diarrhea all the time, if you're nauseous, if you have acid reflux,
you bloat.
You're bloated. These are all signs that your body's sending you and you're not frickin' listening. And you keep eating them.
Well, okay, and hold on, to people's defense, a lot of the times we're told that that's normal
I've heard one crazy vegan doctor telling people that gas is good for you.
Okay, Randy.
I've heard one.
Randy, I am from the Oprah. Like mom was obsessed with Oprah, right?
Yeah.
I am a daughter of an Oprah diet fanatic. She, on her show, was like, she had some gas specialist. I remember being a little girl and saying, you need to pass gas like 50 times a day for it to be healthy.
Yeah, stupid.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, we are told at a very young age that that's all normal. That's just normal.
So we're going back to Juanita's question of conditioning.
Common, not normal. Ugh. Okay.
There we go. No, being gassy, overly gassy is, there's this actual study they did, and vegans fart like 100 times more than like most normal omnivores. That's not normal.
No.
So if you guys ever listen to Paul Saladino, the dude went raw vegan for a while. And like eating your foods raw, I'm sorry if you like your raw vegetables, like you're not doing yourself any service, like cook your vegetables. He said people couldn't be in the same room as him.
Oh, okay.
So not normal.
Yeah.
Your GI, like listen to your stomach. Like if you, again, nauseous, diarrhea, acid reflux, bloating. Bloating's the big one for people. Pay attention to those things.
Yeah.
If you're doing...
Respect your body, too.
Respect your body.
Man,
so,
gosh, what does that mean?
The first thing to gut health is removing the things that are wrecking your gut.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So instead of focusing on what you need to add, maybe focus on what you need to
look at
eliminate.
we listed them all those things there.
Yeah.
And I know everybody gets dicey over alcohol. Anything more than two or three drinks a week is not good for your health.
Yep.
And actual servings, so hard alcohol is that's like 3 shots in a week. And what's a serving? Is it 2 or 3 ounces of wine?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I'm not a whiny.
But pay attention to your gut. Again, pay attention to your allergic response. This one right here, after we had Avery, you couldn't drink wine anymore.
No.
Instant sneezing, allergic, sniffling.
Oh my gosh.
Like you're getting a cold.
Indigestion.
And indigestion.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Marie, just general brain health. So let's keep this really tangible.
Well, here.
Oh, yes,
I got
please.
it.
Mm-hmm.
If you take care of your gut, you're going to take care of your brain health. So somebody else on antibiotics, doctors antibiotics not good for your gut. Yes, they can
save your life.
They can clear up infections. Antibiotics are also, just use the little Google machine. They're one of the most overprescribed things.
Yep. Okay, so
90% of your serotonin is made in your gut,
yep.
and I think 50% of your dopamine is made in your gut.
Yep.
So the person I was talking to, why do I feel no energy? Why do I feel bluesy? Why am I emotional? I'm like, well, all of your good neurotransmitters are gone. So take care of your gut, and you will, by default, take better care of your brain health.
Yes. Now, I don't think Marie was necessarily referring to mental health. I think she just means brain health. Okay, so let's say memory, cognition, right?
So all of the people that have good cognitive function later in life, they don't retire. Mm-hmm. They have tight-knit community, family units, or religion.
Yep.
They challenge themselves. So there's still, you can literally keep improving your memory in your brain until you die.
Yeah. It's so encouraging.
Sudoku, word puzzles,
learning something new,
learning a new language, learning to play a musical instrument, all of these things, anything that challenges you. And
and then also food-wise, eating your fat.
No, because this goes back to cold water therapy. Our great friend Andrew Huberman, who we love, your mid-singular anterior cortex, yes, it's a mouthful, that he calls is your will to live center in your brain, and you can increase the size of it, again, until you're going to die, by challenging yourself. So if you don't like to work out, you're working out. If you don't like to do cold water, anything that you truly don't want to do and you force yourself to do it, you are increasing your longevity and your brain health.
Love it.
So
easy.
And Marie's already doing most of these things.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Okay, but supplement-wise, berries, fat, eating your fat, so your butter, your coconut oil,
protein,
yes, your chicken skin, all of these amazing foods that we've been told not to eat.
Omegas, so getting in your omegas. So if you don't like fish, cod liver oil a couple times a week, or eating grass-fed, grass-finished beef actually has higher levels of omegas. And then the things too, seed oils, probably not the best things for our brain health. There's a new study that came out in rats. They gave the mama rats seed oil chow, and the babies were dumber. So, and seed oils are in almost everything. So,
okay, last question, Alex.
That's a Jessica question.
No. Has there been any study on a gratitude mindset? Yeah, tons and tons. A gratitude mindset is one of the best mindsets you could have. I mean, I know that sounds really dumb saying, right? But it's true. It changes everything. It changes how your body responds to stress. So, and it's not possible for us to always be in a gratitude mindset. Like, that's just not, we're not robots. But
it's just like smiling.
Right.
Changes chemistry.
Absolutely. So even asking yourself, okay, if you're feeling like you're just negative, right? You're just in a funk. One of the best things you can do to pull yourself out of it is, get outside, get some
fresh air.
Yeah, get some fresh air, get barefoot in the grass, but also simply asking yourself the question, what am I grateful for? Changes your entire chemistry.
What we've done as our, and now our littlest, Abby, likes to lead it, is we say every night at dinner, 1 to 3 things, we go around the table, what we're thankful for.
Yep.
We also will say best part of the day, worst part of the day. Not as much, but those are good.
Yeah, and a lot of you have a little gratitude practice where you just write down 3 things you're grateful for. So, I mean, they can be really dumb things, like I'm grateful for 5 minutes of quiet before the kids get up, whatever. Birds chirping. So just those simple things really, really change your chemistry. They change your capacity to handle stress.
Yep.
Yeah,
and for the moms and the wives out there, this is something that they gravitate towards more, but forcing kids to, and especially at a young age, because they'll start to look for the good. And your husbands too. Most of us guys, we just default towards, the logical, the black and the white. So I struggle with this when we start doing it at dinner. I'm like, oh man, what do I say? So it's good for everybody to do.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And again, you start looking for more good, for more positivity, which is just good for our mental health.
So again, even just simply asking yourself, what am I grateful for? It changes your brain chemistry.
Yep.
That's amazing. Okay, on that note, what are you grateful for? Just kidding.
All right.
All right. Thanks, guys. We appreciate you.
Till next week. Bye.
Bye.